Okay, now we're gonna do assignment number 2. And I wake up. It's been a long day. We're almost done though. Got about a half hour. This one's actually kind of easier, believe it or not. I mean, unfortunately, some people are still on break, but hopefully they'll come back in enough time to pick this up. So this is what the assignment looks like, and in the last one, if you wanted to do the PNG printouts, save export to PNG when you're all done on each one, that might be a better option now that I think about it. You can upload anything you want. If you do the PNG images, it's easier for me to read because then I can just click on it and it opens up. I don't have to download it and bring it up in the tool. So PNG would actually make it easier if you want to do the PNG images. I'd save all of it just in case you want to go back and edit it. You can't pull the PNG file back up into the tool. It doesn't work that way. So you have to use the XML file if you're going to do it that way. So assignment number 2, which is also due next week, has one part to it. It's not so bad. The assignment is designed to help you get some experience practicing creating complete database designs by developing a database schema, ER diagram, and then translate the schema into the appropriate database tables. This one is about creating the tables. So assignment number 1, going back to the tool, we were using this option number 1. It says new ER diagram. In assignment number 2, we're doing then option number 2. And option number 2 says new relational schema. That's what we're doing for assignment number 2. So in assignment number 2, I'm going to click on that, and I have a blank slate. And this one here, I have a table. That's about it. Connect. So it's about the keys in the tables. I'm going to do part of it for you so you can see what I'm doing. I don't want to do the whole thing for you. This one's easier than the first one. First one, you got 2 of them left. You got number 3 and you got number 4. Not so bad. This one here, it's all one. So let me read through it here. Your task. Consider the following set of requirements for a university database that is keeping track of students' transcripts. Design the ER diagram for this application. Convert the diagram into the relational schema. You don't have to do both. The way the assignment is worded, it looks like you have to do 2 items. You only have to do 1. You're going to specify the key attributes for each entity type and structural constraints on the relationship types. Uh-oh, new vocabulary. Note any unspecified requirements and make assumptions to make appropriate assumptions to make the specification complete. So this word constraint, structural constraints is referring to the primary key. You're going to make primary keys. The diagram is going to give you the foreign keys. We saw that earlier today, but I'm going to review it a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is go through and show you how this assignment works. Start it for you, and you could take it home with you and finish it later. That's how it's going to work. Because, I have to leave something for you to do. Otherwise, you're going to be bored and you're going to miss me next week. You're going to be like, I feel like I should be doing something. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to finish this up. So university, and then for you guys who are working on the notebooks, email the stuff to yourself. Or if you have a USB disk, copy it to a USB. If you're going to use the computers in here, just go on. Well, another word caution, don't press that button that says save my information. Like when you log into Google and stuff and make sure you clear the browser cache or you close the browser and don't save the information. No, you'd think it would be a no-brainer, but when I was cleaning these computers up, I was like getting the stuff off of them from the orientation, people like left their passwords and everything in there. And I'm like, what? Who would leave their name and login and everything on a public computer? Just keep in mind, other students tomorrow, for that matter, will be using these computers. So if you do email it to yourself, make sure you take off your credentials on the computer before you leave. Anyway, just note to self. University keeps track of each student's name, student number, social security number, current address, phone number. I'm just going to put, and I'm going to bold this right here. I'm changing your assignment here a little bit. I'm just bolding things in here. In fact, I can put this one in red or something, or blue. I'll put it in blue. That's the color that came up. This sounds like a student table to me. So the university keeps track of each student's name, student number, social security number, current address, phone number, permanent address. These are, what are these? These are all attributes about a student. Major department to the degree. Some user applications need to refer to the city, the state, the zip. Composites, attributes. We'll make the student table. How's that? We'll do the student table for you. Both social security number and student number have unique values for each student. There's that unique. This one will do for you. You're going to do the rest of them. And here we have it. Each department, look at, we had this word department. It's probably going to be the name of that table. Each course, there's another table name for you. Each section, oh, is that like a relationship? Maybe that's sort of like a section. Maybe that's a registration. I don't know. Each section has an instructor, semester, year, course. I'll let you figure out what to do with that one. A grade report has a student section, a grade number, grade stuff on it. You're just going to put this together. So let me walk you through writing the student, as I was mentioning before. If you can't get the connections, don't worry about it. We'll make the connections next week, or 2 weeks from now, I should say. If you can make these tables, you could call it section. I'll put this one in blue too. Grade report, or report card. I think in grade school they call them report cards. Report cards have grades on them. Classes and grades for each class. These look like different tables to me. So we'll tackle the big one here. The university keeps track of students. So your table is going to look like that. And I'm going to put up here students. And here we'll just take this a little bit further. Department, course. That looks pretty good. Course. What else we got? Department, course, section, and grade. Oops. There we go. Grade. There are some tables. You can do them just like that because you can move them around when you're all done. We want to work with this one first. Why? Because it's the biggest one. I figure if I'm going to give you something, I'll just give you the big one. The rest of them might need you have to think about some of these too. So the university keeps track of students' name, student number, social security number. So name, I'm going to start adding columns now. Name, social security number, student number. It's like student ID. I'm going to call it student ID. You could call it, you can change, feel free to have academic freedom to change these things around if you want. If you think ID, because student number and social security number is kind of weird. It's like student ID. Current address and phone number, permanent address and phone number. Yikes. There's a lot of tedious work here. Current address, current phone number, permanent number, permanent address, permanent phone number. Okay, what else we got? Birth date, sex or gender, and your class. So let's see. Date of birth. Ender class. We call it class level or level. I like level better. Sophomore, junior, senior, stuff like that. I changed them around a little bit. It's okay. Your class or your level, freshman, sophomore, junior, major, minor, and degree program. Major, minor. I thought it was done. Major. Oops. Minor. Program. Program level. Some user applications need to keep track of the city, state, and zip of the student's permanent address and to the student's last name. Oh man. Okay, so name up here. If I click on the name up here, then doesn't look like I can do it in this tool. Make a composite. So I'm going to change name to first name. And then I'm going to add a last name. And then I'm going to move the last name up so it's underneath the first name. Because I want to do that. You don't have to. First name, last name. City, state, and zip of the student's permanent address. Well, I put the address all in one. Permanent address. I could put in here permanent street, permanent city, permanent state. Okay, I'll do that. Permanent city. Let's just say. So I could keep this as permanent street. And then permanent state. Zip code. Oops. Let's see. And then I'm not going to move them up, but you can move them up. Okay. There's permanent state. Why have permanent state so high? You can use the arrows here to move them up and down in here. I'll leave it alone. I'm too lazy to. So I got permanent zip, permanent state, permanent street, phone number. What's it saying here? Both the social security number and the student number have unique values for each. So social security number. I'm going to click on this little button that says unique. And student number. Student ID. I think it's student ID actually, because I called it student ID instead of student number. That's going to be unique. So you see in here it says unique for these two. That permanent zip code is in the state's bothering me. Here, I'll move it. Permanent street address is good. Permanent zip code. Let's move it down. I'm going to fix the. It's bothering me. Permanent zip. Permanent street, permanent zip, permanent state. Street, state, zip code. There we go. Permanent phone number. Okay, now I got the permanents in the right direction. So this is part A. This is number A here. So you do that for B, for C, and for D, and then for E. So you're going to do this for B, C, D, and E. And then you're going to tie them together. As an example, let's see which one I can do. Let's do, well, I don't want to do the whole thing for you because it's too simple, but you guys are still here and you want to do the whole thing? Then you don't have to do it at home. For those people who are still here. Yeah, let's do the whole thing. I got a few minutes here. If the problem is I can't show you the keys without doing the rest of it. And I just did the hardest one for you. Let's just do the whole thing. B is department. The department is described by name, department code, office number, office phone, and college. Both name and code are unique. Alright, so let's go. Name, department code, office number. So let's see, add name, add code. This is department code, isn't it? Department code, number, department, office. Office number, office phone, and college. This is really office number. We have office phone. College. Department is described by name, department code. So name, department code, office number, office phone, and college. Office number, office phone, and college. Good. And then what do we have here? Both the name and the code have unique values. So the name is unique, and the department code is unique. So I got unique and unique. Good. Course has a name, a description, course number. Thanks. Name. This is tedious. Course name. So let's see. That's not too bad. Name. Description. Course number. Number of semester hours, level, and department. Number of hours. Actually, that's really credits, isn't it? Credits. Department, maybe. Department. Department code. Yeah. I'm going to do this backwards. I'm going to put all the stuff in, then I'm going to key it up later. Number of hours, the level, offering department. The value of the course number is unique for each course. Did you have a question? It's really department code, but you know what I'm going to do here? Department code is this department code over here. I'm actually going to take this department code out. Because I can do this. I can connect this one with this one. Oops, this one doesn't have a primary key. I can take department. I'm going to go back to department for a second. And then I'm on course. Hold on. Select. I'm going to select department. And instead of making department code unique, it could be unique, but I'm going to add a primary key to this table. I'm going to make it department code. Change department code to primary key. I was going to do all the tables and then I was going to key it up, but I'm thinking maybe it's easier, it's less work to key it up while I do the tables. What we want to do is connect all the tables together by the keys. And there's duplicate information because courses has a department code. So if we make department code here in department a primary key, then I can link it. So I'm going to select connect and connect it here to here, and it adds department code as a foreign key to this table. So I don't have to put department code in here. And then in here we have a course code, a course number. And the course number is really a primary key. If I do that, I can still leave name as unique. And I can leave course number, because I think in here it's going to tell me the course number. The value of the course number is unique for each course. Well, primary keys are also unique for each course. So you can just, if you have more than one unique key, more than one unique attribute per each table, you can make one the primary key and you can make the other one unique. So in this particular case, if I mark this one as being a foreign key and this one being a primary key over here, I can make and use the course code in something else. Students, are they doing are they in a department? No, they have a social security number, they have a student ID. I don't see anything where I need to connect this one to this one. Well, there's a program. Let's see. In order for us to store all the data in this database, we have to be able to tie it together. And what we're doing right now is tying it together so that we can get at it. It's all stored separately, but we're going to tie it together. Back to what I was saying in the first hour or so of this class. We take all the data, we separate it all out and put it into different tables, and then we tie it all back together. So let's see, section. Each section has an instructor. Here's our section. I'm going to add instructor. And semester, year, course, and section number. Yikes. Section number is probably going to be our primary key. Section number. What does it say? Year? Section number. Year, course. Year, course, and section number. Year. Who's the course? Yeah, course number. Course number. So in here, the primary key is going to be section number. So section number, just like course number. But instead of putting course number in here, I'm going to link it so I can get a foreign key in here. So I'm going to connect it this way. Now I have course number in here. So this table is now linked to this table, which is now linked to this table. Lose anyone? Don't worry, if you haven't quite gotten this 100%, we're going to do this again next time. It's a little bit more advanced, but we'll do it again. Review it. It takes, for the first 8 hours of the class, it takes a long time to kind of, you're going to need to let this mellow a little bit in your head for a week or so. And then by the time you come back next time, it'll be second nature, theoretically. The section number distinguishes each sections of the same course that are taught during the same year and semester. That's the section number. That's why we created a primary key. The courses are going to be for the course numbers. Its values are 1, 2, 3, up to the number of sections taught during each semester. That's okay. We're not putting any values in here. We're not populating this table with any data. Next time I see you, we're going to put this in MySQL and we'll populate it. And you'll see how the tables work together, which is quite interesting when you think about it. Last but not least, the grade report has a student section, a letter grade, and a numeric grade. So student section, letter grade. So here's our grade. And we're going to add, whoop, do I need to add? Or do I have a student ID? I do have a student ID. I'm going to go back to the student table momentarily. And I'm going to add a primary key. And I'm going to make that one the student ID. So see how this one's unique, but it's also a student ID. I can go back and make those other ones unique too. It doesn't really matter. If it's primary key, it's going to be unique. But then if I put the student ID in here and I want the student ID in the grade table and I want it to be the same student ID, then I'm going to connect it. So I'm going to go like this. Now I have student ID as a foreign key and student ID as a primary key here. Now this one is going to have section number as well. So section number from here is going to connect and it's going to go into the grade report. And I had to get this one to go this way, but yeah, we'll just leave it alone. Bothers me that this line is going that way. It's okay though. Let's see. Letter grade and numeric grade. Well, that's just a matter of doing this. This one's going to have an add column. Letter grade. And then add column. Numeric grade. So like 3.0 and then B or something. Now department doesn't need to, the student is taking a course. Let's see what's in department. Department office has college. Student has a major and a program. They could be in departments if that were the case. It wouldn't be a bad idea to try to connect these two, because the program is in a department, but we're not given the program information. We're just told that students are part of a program. So I'm going to go back up here and take a look. Yeah, major department. Major department. See, I called it a program. It's really a department. So I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to come down here where it says program. I think I put program in here. I'm going to take this out actually. And instead I'm going to put a department here. I'm going to connect it this way. And give the student a department. So I have department number in here as a foreign key. I'm going to make them belong to a department. And so now they have a grade report that's working with the section. What happens if I go like this? Yeah, it's okay. Grade report works with a section. It's a course. Course is in a department. Doesn't really matter what you do with it. Actually, I sort of like that. I could play with it all day. Let's see if I missed anything. Student. Was it this easy? Department. Of course. Maybe it was easy for me. Maybe I did it too fast for you. Let's see what it says down here. Specify key attributes for each of the entity types. We did. And structural constraints. Those are the primary keys and the foreign keys on each relationship type. Note any unspecified requirements. Well, there weren't any. I mean, I made some variations of it and I had to change it because my variations were wrong. And then make any appropriate assumptions. That's the answer to assignment number 2, by the way. You could do it yourself again on your own as practice, or you could turn this one in. It's not as bad as you think, actually. Yeah. The grade report here. I took, let's see. This relationship was established by clicking on connect, going from the student and grabbing it and dropping it, because the student ID is a foreign key here, it's a primary key here. If you don't make, here, let's do it down here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I have a table here, and a table here, and I don't, let's say for example I have, let's call this student B. I don't want to mess up my original diagram, so I'll make this here. And this is grade. And in student B, I'm going to have ID. And in grade, I'm going to have, what do I have in grade? I have a new attribute. This is garbage. Hold on a second. New attributes. Delete that one. I have a grade. Oops, I don't want to add to this one. That's probably how this happened to begin with. Grade. I'm going to say, did you fix it? Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so if you do this, is what I was going to demonstrate. If you make a table but you don't make a key, it doesn't turn green. So you have to have a primary key in here to go. The destination doesn't need a primary key because it's going to get a foreign key. Like I got a foreign key right here. But if you don't have a primary key, there's nothing for you to do. That's the assignment, though. So the entity relationship diagramming approach, like you did in assignment number 1, is to train you to start thinking about relationships. This is actually a relationship table. We have a little bit more of this to do next time. But this is a relationship table between students who take classes. And the classes are in departments. And departments, each class in the department has a section number. And so they get a grade. And they get a grade for the course that they took with the section number that's in the department. And it becomes part of the student records. It gets attached to student records. So what we're going to do next time is take and do direct translations. Draw more. So I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. What we're going to do is draw more entity relationship diagrams and do more practice translating them. All you really have to do is assignment number 1, parts 3 and 4. You can play with this one if you want. Turn this one in because you were here. You actually were able to do it. I need to see who was here though, so before we leave, I need to write your names down. I know she left and I can't remember. Do you remember who she is? Yeah, the person that was sitting next to you. It's okay if you don't. Emma? Amber. Okay. Let's here. Let me stop the people on YouTube don't need to know this. What her name is? Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm gonna stop this recording. This is assignment number 2, and then we're gonna do roll, so I can see who was here. You guys are the only ones who are going to have the second assignment done anyway. You can go ahead and upload this into your Canvas if you want to, if you have it done. I'm also going to save this one too for my archives. So I'm going to save the diagram file. There we go. And I'm going to stop this recording.